already have recorded, I uploaded the first meeting or orientation last time in my channel. I'll be giving you the link later on for the others to be able to witness that one and catch up na yung mga requirements natin and different stuff that we have discussed. Anyway, for those who are using mobile data at this point, for you not to spend so much bandwidth of the data that you are using, you may turn off your videos, and I'll just let you open that one if I require you to. Anyway, let's get to just discuss those first four lessons kasi yun yung parang first grading natin. However, the lessons that will cover your exam for next week will be until, I think, assignment 9. If you have your modules with you, I think the first half will be until assignment 9. But most of you have already had submitted the requirements for your assignment 1 to 3, but there were some few who are asking about how to go on with the vlog, because the assignment number 4 is vlog, if you get to notice that one. So let me share to you my screen and tingnan lang natin and go over the module. Alright. Anyway, are you seeing my screen? Nakikita nyo ba?
Yes, sir.
Alright, very good. Bakit may drawing yun? Anyway, I hope they get to see the screen. Bakit may drawing tong yellow?
Nag-photoshop?
Oo, talaga na nag-photoshop. Wait lang. Anyway, let me sa full screen para makita na lahat. Alright. So, yeah, if you get to see here, no? Your lessons are divided. You get to see meron tayong mga lessons dito, and talks about the civilization, the history about the different discoveries and inventions of different civilizations, even the years. I think I will not discuss this one much of it kasi I think this is really very very self-explanatory. However, I noticed that most of you doesn't know how to make a timeline, no? Kasi some others are actually doing what they call an outline. Ang nangyari kasi for others, what they did was just to recopy yung anong nandito sa tawag natin sa module nyo at sinulat na sa papel. So I mean, you don't see a difference. You don't see a difference of them kasi parang yun nga, what's the point of actually making it parang parehas lang doon sa module mo. So what I'm after was a timeline. If you get to see a timeline, you're going to Google it right now and try to see it, the images of timelines. Timelines have the chronological order of the years, no? Maybe we can start with the Sumerians. Tapos we end up until siguro until the Greeks or even after Greeks. Maybe after the Greeks. Basta yung after ng mga Greeks, I think those are the Romans and Chinese after that one. So you get to see here that the Sumerians tayo, tapos they have this mga different highlights of what they have done. Babylonians, the Greek, the Romans, and the medieval ages. Tapos we included in the last part here the Philippine inventions, no, na syempre, let's just also be proud that Filipinos have Filipinos have
Inventions.
contributed, no, sa mga inventions. I didn't even know na meron pala this exist, no, yung salamander amphibious tricycle. We have the salt lamp, we have medical incubator, yung mga pinapasok natin yung mga premature babies dito, no? Since these babies are still very delicate and they are still hindi pa fully grown yung mga organs nila for them to be almost viable to be able to survive the outside world. Tapos itong mga ovicidal, larvicidal trap ng mga mosquitoes, to be honest with you, I always encounter this one for mga science investigatory projects for elementary na gumagawa sila ng mga different na mga science projects about this one kasi even I myself when I was in elementary, isa din ito sa mga hinahanap namin. We just get yung mga extract ng garlic, ginger, whatever, tapos minimix namin tapos in-spray namin sa lamok kung effective or not. But then again, no, being sa Filipino, we are also proud that we have meron tayong mga contributions to this one. But if you're going to look at the first part, no, this is ancient times. Ito yung mga parang highlight na nung lahat ng mga civilization contributions and discoveries that they have done. First of all, you have your transportation, no? So makita natin na importante yung transportation during those times because then again, no, if you get to see people who are what you call your nomads, yung mga NPA, mga no permanent address, they don't stay in one place. At some point, they need transportation for them to be able to bring their different mga stuff to other places. And if those places, like for example, you have different seasons, no? Pag may winter time, transfer to other places that are hindi so extreme yung temperature. Communication, makita natin that the Sumerians started with the cuneiform. No, ito yung pinaka, even if you're going to talk about your AP when you were in high school, you already have encountered this cuneiform, isang form of writing ito. Then afterwards, with the Sumerians, meron na naman tayong nakitang another form of writing by the Egyptians, which is the hieroglyphics. No, ibang system of writing naman ito. But the point is that, no, this talks about communication. No, so for how people communicate and even record yung mga nangyayari those times. That's the reason why if you get to see the walls of mga pyramids, no, those are actually mga mga symbols that will tell you na merong mga nangyayari mga ganong history, and this is a way for them to communicate for other people na makita natin ito. Let's interpret anong nangyayari dito. No? Another would be what you call your weapons and armors, kasi during those times, no, wala pa tayong mga titulo ng lupa. And those different stuff that na nangyayari doon, and honest kasi mga tao doon were conquerors. So the more land that you get to conquer, no, the more powerful you are, because this actually also means power pag malaki yung hawak mong mga teritoryo. So makita natin with those territories conquering different areas, no. So kailangan mo ng malalakas na weapon and armors to be able to survive, no, yung mga clashes between different tribes, different cultures, and those different stuff. Another would be conservation of life. During the earlier times, no, the medieval times of chemistry, meron tayong tinatawag natin na precursor of chemistry, which is what you call your alchemy. Kasi those times, ng mga times ng alchemy, ito sila, basta lang na tawag nito, bahala lang silang nagmi-mix ng kung ano-ano just for them to be able to meron tayong hinahabol kasi ng mga people before, trying to mix different stuff because they want to achieve what you call immortality. Ayaw nilang mamatay, no? Kasi this is also in relation to your sa weapons and different wars before na syempre pag immortal ka, syempre hindi ka basta-basta. So ito, conservation of life. At some point also, no, ito habol din natin ito in terms of medicine this time, no? Yung mga cure for us right now, we have the pandemic, and we need to conserve life by trying to find we're trying to find, tawag natin ito, mga vaccines, no, that will be able to fight this pandemic right now and be able to go back to the normal life that we used to. So yan, no, I think yung mga iba, those are related to mga architectures and engineering, just like your great ziggurat of Ur. You have your hanging gardens of Babylon. So makita natin na even wala pang mga engineers during these times, pero makita natin din na meron tayong mga taong who were able to build these ones, no. Pero if we're going to look at the story behind this one, this is because of slavery and yung mga different mga levels of people, kasi syempre hindi mo naman pwedeng i-force yung mga tao dati na gumawa niyan kung walang slaves, no. So that's the difference. The Greek civilization is also really very important kasi dito sa Greek kasi, if you're going to look at also the history of Greek, divided ang people dito ng dalawa. We have the Spartans and yung mga nasa Athens din. You talk about Athens, sila yung mga mahihilig sa mga knowledge, wisdom. Say for example, we have Plato, we have Aristotle, those different people are actually mga philosophers who even contributed to science. But kung hindi ka mga ganun, yung mga lover of wisdom na Greek, ikaw naman ay pwedeng maging member ng mga Spartans, or those are different na mga mandirigma. If you're if you have watched the movie 300, yun nga, kukonti lang sila pero they're really very efficient warriors na one strike at least kaya mong sa one strike ng sword mo tatlo matutumba, dalawa, ganun. So one strike, one kill to be exact. Pero kung kaya mo ng one strike, three kills, why not, 'di ba? So those are actually that is the one that's being depicted by that movie. So Roman civilization, meron tayong mga newspapers, Roman architectures, um, yun. Now, for the Chinese, ito naman sa kanila, more on merchant kasi mga Chinese before. If you get to see the Chinese, the China is actually a sleeping giant. Hindi sila involved sa mga maraming mga wars before. But you get to see that right now at the recent on the recent times, no, na-involved na sila sa mga, kaya na nilang pumalag sa US and those different stuff. But China, during those earlier times, hindi sila ganun ka very aggressive, no, in terms of war. Pero Chinese are more on merchants before. Yung meron silang dinadaanan dati na mga merchant na mga passage wherein they get to trade different stuff, no? We have silk, we have tea production. Sila actually ang nag-invento din ng gunpowder, but this was more on for fireworks, not actually for weapon, for those ones. Kaya pero napunta din doon yung pag-invento nila ng gunpowder. We have those different medieval age, microscopes, really very important nowadays, telescope. In modern times, meron tayong mga different event na mga, what do you call this one? Mga processes, like for example, this pasteurization by Louis Pasteur, no? This is a way for us to kill harmful bacteria, especially in terms of yung mga kumukuha ng milk from the cow, and some others are actually really very very brave enough to drink that one right away. But then again, no, for us kasi kailangan nating i-pasteurize pa yun para matanggal yung harmful bacteria before we get to consume that milk, parang ganun. So meron tayong petroleum refinery, calculator, telephone by Alexander Graham Bell, using electricity na, and those different signals in the electricity can be sound can be transformed into an electrical signal, tapos you get to communicate people who are really very far, no? And right now, dahil sa kanya, meron na tayong mga like wireless mga telecommunication devices that we get to enjoy right now. So
Sir,
yes, Miss Robeda.
di ba ni Alexander Graham Bell, sir, nag-invent the clock?
The clock.
Yeah.
Just to start with the pre-con kasi, meron tayong mga gumawa ng mga clock dito. Actually, we have this water clock coming from the Egyptians. But if you ever have seen another style
I mean, digital clock, sir, kala ko mga adatin Roman numerals na, sir.
I'm not really very sure about it. I'll get back to you about it, but then I never heard of him doing the digital clock. Kasi if you get to talk about the Roman numeral clocks, I think
Day kala, sir, day clock at London Tower nga day?
The Big Ben.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, the Big Ben. I'm not really very sure about it, but I'll get back to you and try to know more about it. I think it's not digital, that the Big Ben is not digital. It's more on an analog kasi makina yun eh.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Makina.
Sorry,
Na computer pa. More on an analog clock pa siya. Yeah. So, yun nga. But thank you, Miss Lobeda, for inserting that one. I'll try to find supporting idea for about that claim, no? You have your calculators. Hindi ko alam kung sino exactly ang nakagawa nito, but if you get to know stories about elementary students in Japan, this is just one of their projects actually. Isang project lang nila to ang gumawa ng calculator. This just using Arduinos and different na yung mga tawag natin ito, SMDs, SMDs, small mounted devices na kinuha natin sa mga PCB, printed circuit boards and different stuff. So just imagine, no, how Japan is so small, how Japan has been destroyed during the World War II, but was able to bounce back, no, because of more or less kasi pwede nating masabihin na the Japanese are actually really very disciplined. And at some point also, yun nga, yung educational system na nila as early as elementary, that they have able to, project nila, calculator. Nasubukan nyo ba mag-project ng calculator? Hindi. So I think this is the reason why Japan in terms of technology is also because quality yung mga kanila. Yung mga quality yung mga activities nila. I'm sorry. Quality yung mga technology nila. So yeah, I have here. Have you ever heard of a story that it was a Filipino daw na
See,
naka-invento ng kwan ng the fluorescent. It came from an inventor by with a family named Flores, and because of him, I was able to invent the fluorescent lamp that we're enjoying right now. Kasi it's more efficient compared to the incandescent bulb, the yellow one. So yun nga, pero it wasn't included here. But then I think no, makita natin dito sa salt lamp. Actually, I also have seen this one also salt lamp by using purified water, tapos you have your two lids there, the positive and the negative. Then water can only become conductive if you're going to put salt there. So sa pure water kasi walang metals doon, no? If you get to see water is H2 and H2O. So you have your hydrogen or oxygen, they are non-metals, so they cannot conduct electricity. However, if you get to start adding salt into that water, you get to know that salt is actually sodium and chloride, and sodium is a metal, is able to conduct the electricity within the water. So pure water, hindi po siya pwedeng mag-conduct. This is actually the story behind the salt lamp. So, yun. So, yeah, any questions before I get to proceed dito sa intellectual revolution? Questions? No? I get to see only faces of Miss Lobban. So, yeah, dito naman sa intellectual revolution, these are just mga different mga revolutions that happened during those earlier times. These are actually the clashes of the different minds of scientific people, to the point that two people who are actually into science, but then hindi sila magkakaintindihan. So let's get to talk first about the Copernican Revolution. If you get to see here in the Copernican Revolution, this was because of Nicholas Copernicus. But before Nicholas kasi siya yung parang siya yung nag-claim dito ng pangalan niya. Why is it that not Ptolemy Revolution? It says here Copernicus Revolution. So you get to see here that Ptolemy is actually the prime mover of what you call your geocentrism. When you talk about the geocentrism, the word geo stands for Earth. And the centrism stands for the center. So para sa kanya daw, that the solar system is actually that the Earth is in the center. And those different planets revolve around the Earth. So si Sun umiikot around Earth. So si Earth nasa gitna lang steady. However, this was contradicted by Nicholas Copernicus, telling that it's not Earth that is the center, it's the Sun. When you talk about helio kasi, from the prefix helio, this means sun. So sun is the center, which now ngayon, no, if you're going to look at it, and siguro kung nag-debate pa sila during those earlier times, nanalo si Nicholas Copernicus with his kaya siya nag-claim ng revolution ito, no, trying to this now rejecting the idea of Ptolemy na si Earth daw yung nasa center, when in fact it's the sun that is in center, then the different planets are actually revolving around it. Alright, so let's proceed to the other one. You have your Darwinian Revolution. Ito naman si Darwinian, this is just telling us that we started from a low-level organism to be top, pero particularly sa kanya, pinakita na we came from the family of apes. So, kayo man, no, if you get to agree that you came from apes, nasasabi dito sa Darwinian Revolution. So sabi niya dito that from a crawling organism to a slightly standing until no, yung tao. Kaya nga yung last part here, the second to the last organism here was they call yung Homo erectus, because they are already standing erect, no, compared to those apes here who are actually crawling. So Darwinian Revolution. However, no, sa Darwinian Revolution, going back to your AP, ang problema lang kasi sa Darwinian Revolution was the missing link. there was this one organism there that hindi nila makita kung saan, kasi from the ape family going to the human family, evolution, eh, merong something in between na hindi nila mahanap, and they call that one the missing link. This actually is the link daw that connects from the lower organism to the higher organism, which is us, humans. Pero just to give you an idea, no? During the when Charles Darwin was on his deathbed, mamamatay na si Charles Darwin. Actually,
Umamin.
umamin siya at some point din also, kasi si Darwin kasi inaway ito ng church. Inaway ito ng church because the Darwinian theory was actually being contradicted by the creation theory. That biblically we came from God. God created us. That we don't come from monkeys in those different stuff. So very very controversial masyado si Darwin dito. Kaya
Sir, another thing.
yes. You'd like to add, Miss Lobel?
The evidence he got, di ba, sir, agbe-broke the bones nga from the apes to
Yes.
humans nga di, sir. From different places gaminti ng alaan na dagi bones and such, kaltap no lang ma-prove the point ng from apes tayo nga di.
Yes.
So sa na basa nga article di last 3 years ago.
Yeah, to be honest with you, no, with
Wow.
anthropologists trying to find evidences of those different stuff, no, even yung mga bones, and why is it that this bone is longer than the usual one for a human, pero human daw yung parang pinanggalingan nun. There are actually may mga konting mga evidences that will tell you, but then again, no, there is just something missing with how to connect the ape family to the human evolution, which is actually the missing link for this Darwinian evolution. Yun nga. Tapos, then again, being so very controversial kasi ang hirap mong makalaban during the history ang church. Because there was this what they call monopoly of truth, na the church is actually telling the truth and science is not telling the truth. So, get to debate between science and religion or the church. Yan, ang hirap talaga. That's the reason why most of the scientists during the earlier times are actually underground. Hindi sila pwedeng lantaran na nag-experiment with this different stuff. But just to
More
add,
likely afraid of religion. Mga Christians.
yes, if you get to watch the Angels and Demons by Angels and Demons or Devils by who's that?
Devils.
Devils by the famous writer na yun ng the Da Vinci Code, no? This actually pinapakita doon yung na merong mga the scientists, the Opus Dei and those different, tapos against the church, yung ganun. So ang hirap actually lumantad before science, being related to science, and science tells you that this is the evidence that science tells you and it's the truth, and religion also tells you that this is the truth. So pag nag-clash kayo, ang hirap to the point that they even hang and burn scientists before. So just to give you an idea of Charles Darwin during his deathbed, nung mamamatay na siya, he actually asked forgiveness sa pare, or just to yun nga, yung theory of evolution na is at some point very controversial na, yeah, just he actually even accepted that there is a God, no? There's God na before siya namatay, kasi very controversial nga yung idea niya. Let's get now to let's get to the Freudian Revolution. If you know Sigmund Freud, if you get to have your classes with psychology, you get to encounter him. He is the prime mover of the psychosexual theory of development, no, human. Freudian kasi is more on sa sexual side siya, no, that will tell you that bakit itong taong ito smoker, kasi siguro na-deprive siya during the oral stage. Bakit kaya itong tao OC, kasi na-deprive ito during the anal stage. I'll leave your psychology teacher to explain this one more, no, but then it says here, it talks about your psychoanalysis. Alright? So, yun na nga. I think yung mga assignment dito, madali na lang yung mga if you get to see here your assignment, just get to ask you about the most controversial, para sa inyo yung pinaka-controversial na revolution there. But for me, nalirinig na niya actually. So, I get to emphasize more on the Darwinian Revolution actually. And me personally, but you have your own one, so depende kung paano nyo express your idea for this self-assessment too. Alright? Let's get to proceed now with your chapter 3. Dito, ang daming nag-ask about the assignment here. Let me go first right away to the assignment. It says here, search for either hard copy newspaper or news online article 2019 onwards related to science, technology, and engineering in the Philippines. You may find articles related to government agencies like the OST, DPWH, DOH, etc. Highlight ideas that help Philippines grow as a nation related to science and technology. Reference articles and source links are included. So, yun yun. What you're going to do here is pwede kayong actually mag-screenshot ng mga articles that you get to encounter maybe online, or if not, you may cut that one out, from a newspaper, and later on during submission you can send me the soft copy. For those who are doing the hard copy, just show me a clear photo of that assignment. But my point here is actually talaga, being most of you are actually e-ed, elementary ed, and some of you are social work and crim, no? It's just to give you yung ability nyo mag-express ng idea nyo. Kasi isa tong requirement, for being as a teacher, that magaling ka ring mag-express ng idea mo for you to be able to reach out to those mga younger generations, teaching them, facilitating learning. So, ito yung habol ko actually. Kaya, this is just one of the many assignments that you'll encounter, the same as this one. So, then again, kung hanap kayo sa internet, there was this one of your classmates that PM sa akin, "Sir, pwede ba ito? It's about COVID." Yes, sige, basta ang importante, wag kwan. Then again, I like to emphasize you about copy pasting. I have my many ways for me to be able to catch that one. Ang habol ko lang talaga is your idea and expressing your articulation, expression of ideas, writing, no? So, kung hindi kayo masyadong magaling magsalita orally, maybe in writing, bawiin nyo dito. Kasi, yun nga, distance learning tayo, and this is more on the writing side. I get to see that some others are actually even answering mga short sentences, like 3 sentences lang, or... Pero, just to emphasize to you, you're already college students, no? Hindi kayo yung elementary or high school that wag niyo tipirin yung ideas, no? Because then again, no, as I always emphasize, I may learn from you, and I'd like to know your idea. Kasi, yun nga, meron akong mga ideas na sa akin na hindi ko alam na, uy, pwede akong I have this chance na, uy, natuto din ako sa inyo. So, yun again. But then again, let's just get to have yung pahapyaw na itong chapter 3. This talks about nation building. So, isa talagang habol ng why science and technology is there is because of nation building. And those people are actually part of the nation build, yung talagang nag-maximize na in science and technology, or actually countries na nag-maximize dito. Most of them were mga developed countries, no, like United States, Japan, the United Kingdom, those different even most of the countries in Europe. And just to emphasize, no, sa ito, at ganito, no, kasi to be honest with you, for Philippines, have you ever heard of like some grants or some support about scientists trying to do this one and do that one? Ito lang yung isa sa mga experience ko when I was in high school, encountering one of the speakers in a high school coming from the University of the Philippines. He was talking about global warming, and climate change, and those different stuff when I was in high school. As far as I can remember, that was fourth year high school, which is actually grade 10 right now. And tumatak sa isip ko yung sinabi niya that the Philippines actually needs more scientists than lawyers. I'm sorry for sa iba, but then again, yung sabi nila na emphasis more on science. Kasi, yun nga, yung technology, yung advantages of science, tapos most of those lawyers are actually running for a position, making politics here and there. So, parang ganon. But, being as a science teacher, so I get to agree with what he said, no, though you're not required, or you're not forced to agree with me. But that's just my point na, yun nga, for the Philippines, one of those things na kailangan nating i-emphasize is more on the support of the science and technology. No, marami tayong may mga potential na mga Filipinos or actually can do this one and that one, and yun nga. If you know, one of one of, so ito naman sa sports, ito, if you know Wesley So, SO yung apelyido niya, So, si Wesley, he's actually one of the chess grandmaster of the Philippines. So, magaling siya sa chess, nakikipag-compete siya with, sa chess na sport. However, did you know that from being a Filipino, he is right now a US citizen. Kasi nasalat siya sa suporta ng Philippines in terms of yung suporta sa sport, to the point na parang he was taken for granted and then applied for a United States visa, United States citizenship, tapos doon. So right now, Wesley So is actually excelling in his sport, but then representing United States, not the Philippines. So yung mga ganong mga bagay, no, in terms of maximizing the chance that we have for science and technology nation building. So yun na nga, no, so you have there yung mga different stuff. So yun, meron tayong mga pre-colonial and post-colonial. You have Ferdinand Marcos emphasizing that he was the one who started with the Pag-asa and the NAST. Actually, what's this one? And actually, si Ferdinand Marcos was also yung isa sa mga during his government that he started with the Bataan nuclear power plant. It's just now right now a white elephant, no, parang nagawa lang pero hindi siya na maximize kasi binahan ng mga welga sa labas that telling us that the nuclear power plant is not safe for people living around Bataan. So yun, pero sayang eh. And just lately I get to hear that the President Duterte's plans to revive that one, no? Para
But then again, sir,
Hmm.
nuclear, yung emphasis, kaya naman nag-huwelga mga yan.
Yeah, right. Okay, sige. Let me share to you about nuclear power plant, no? Nuclear power plant is actually, if you're going to look at history, Chernobyl, Ukraine, sumabog yung isang nuclear power plant nila. If you get to also know about Japan is really very prone to earthquake, and there was this one very strong earthquake that caused a leak of those mga radioactive materials coming from the nuclear power plant, which caused at some point parang alarm to people. But to be honest with you, with the power plant that we have, no, actually it's one of the most efficient source of energy that we have. The nuclear, like for example, if meron kang one handful of fissionable material nuclear power plant, can actually support mga ilang cities na yan sa ganong kaliit lang na supply. So what we need is actually not kinatatakutan lang kasi ng tao, siguro hindi sila confident sa mga Filipino scientists trying to operate the nuclear power plant. That's the reason maybe. Pero for us kasi, ang isang preparation dyan is for us to train those people experts, maybe to be trained abroad para kailangan nilang malaman anong gagawin with this, how to operate this nuclear power plant securely and safely. Kaya ako personally, I'd like that one to be revived. Kasi then again, if you get to talk about physics, no, it's really very efficient. Ang liit-liit lang na amount. Let's say for example, isang garapon lang ng peanut butter na laki, ang fissionable material mo can supply how many cities and barangays already. So just imagine that one, no? Let's say hindi
Sir.
ako. Yes, Miss Robeda.
Sir, aday dito dumay GGC nga handa ka no Makati, agbalin ko ba nga i-share letter dito screen ko from Messenger, at least kuma Makatin dito duma.
All right, you can do that one. Actually, I'm also recording this one later on to be uploaded sa YouTube. So for
Okay,
those
sir.
who are not able to join, I will be uploading a copy of this one sa YouTube. Don't worry sa mga hahabol. I'm sorry, hindi ko kasi pinapansin. My phone is also even ringing. Pero
Okay lang, sir.
dire-diretso ko na para hindi sayang yung oras. Right, so yun na nga sa assignment 3, hanap din kayo ng hanap din kayo ng something science related that's actually have caused our nation to be improved. Yun. So, ano bang mga latest na mga nalalaman nyo about the Philippines, mga contributions about those different stuff, no, and how Philippines benefited from that one. So, yun yung point dito sa assignment number 3 ninyo. So, please again, wag kayong maging tipid sa mga ideas nyo, no? Thank you, Ms. Lobeda, for interacting with me in terms of this kasi At least I'm not the only one talking here. And thank you for your input din also. Let's go to the last part here. Ito medyo mahirap. To be honest with you. Kasi sabi dito, vlog. Dito kasi sa tabi ko yung isa sa author ng kanya ng module, no. But then this was my idea na gumawa ng vlog actually kasi pinagawa ko ito sa mga grade 8 ko and they were able to do this one. Pero sa grade 8 naman it was more on a group work. But then again, with our setting right now, it's really very hard, no, na gawin itong group work. So sabi dito sa instruction, research and create an educational vlog related to indigenous science and technology discoveries and inventions. You may interview indigenous folks in your provinces to substantiate your vlog. Note, ito, a vlog should be entertaining at the same time educational. The problem with some others, no, kasi with my experience also with others and even the first batch na na-handle ni Ma'am Nicel, most of the videos being sent was more on a reporting type of video na parang nag-report lang yun. Tapos can you consider that one vlog? Kasi meron tayong sinasabi na vlogish vibe when you talk about your vlog, no? Kasi if you imaginein mo nga yung nagre-report doon yung video tapos ikaw yung viewer doon, is it entertaining in the first place? It may be educational but is it entertaining? So yun yung habol ng vlog natin. It's entertaining. You can infuse different pampatawa doon, maybe even reporting sinulong mo yung mama tapos sir ano yung masasabi, ano yung mga alam nyo mga those different stuff. So there are different videos that are found in YouTube, no, in terms of trying how to start a vlog. Yung mga kailangan nyo, like at least meron kayong camera phones. We have those apps like KineMaster, the Cyberlink, ano pa ba? Yung mga editors na pwede nyong i-fuse yung mga different scenes nyo. And at the same time, you can actually add a background music. But I'd like to emphasize that yung background music, please, wag masyadong malakas na natabunan yung audio ng talagang yung nagsasalita. Kasi I myself is actually also doing video editing, so medyo may konti ngayon akong mga ideas with this one and what not and what to. So
Sir, anong gamit mo?
ang gamit ko, I'm actually just
Adobe, sir?
Adobe Premiere. I'm using Adobe Premiere. That's
Ano naman pala?
And kasi if you get to find my channel there sa YouTube, is more on yung mga lessons ko dati sa grade 8 and even covers kasi I do instruments also, covers. So nandun, but I'll give you the one later on, the link later on. So from the link you get to see other videos uploaded in my channel. But yeah, just an important reminder, no, kasi you may go extremes with doing this vlog, na maybe going other barangays, or may consider this one as parang outing na yung pag-vlog nito. Just be mindful of the health protocols that we need to do for us not to spread the virus. Kasi ang hirap naman na siguro, ako yung masisisi na dahil yung isang requirement yung nag-vlog kayo, nagka-COVID kayong kita. So, wag naman ganun sana. No? So, if you have the choice of yung parang I'll do my vlog well pero compromise naman yung health mo, please don't do it, no. Maybe you can start doing that one by maybe within the circle na lang sa family. If you live with your grandparents, your uncles, your auntie, yun, yung malapit lang, wag masyadong lumayo. And then again, yung health protocols, just to emphasize, no, wag masyado ng ganun. So I may extend na lang kasi alam ko yung vlog kasi hindi basta-basta na isang day mo lang tinake. Actually, kung to be honest with you, in filmmaking kasi hindi lang days yan. It takes months and even years for you to those different scenes and those different stuff. Pero vlog naman ito, so whenever you start a vlog, you open it up with a spiel. So paano ka bang mag-invite ng mga tao for you to be able to invite watching your vlog. So, yung mga what's up, mga ganon, shout out, whatever. Yung mga ganon, I mean, how to, yung, paano ka mag-inganyo ng mga tao na to watch your vlog, tapos, ganon. Wag yung gawing boring ito. Kasi then again, this is vlog, this is not reporting na naka-video na in-upload lang or whatever. So, yun nga. The problem with this assignment is that how are we going to submit this one? no? Ang hirap actually ng submission nito. But I think no, you have your USBs being sent by your by the school, and I think your flash drives are being returned for another set of batches na kailangang ibigay. I think yung finished product nyo na video or your vlog there can be saved there sa flash drive na lang if you don't have any connections or talagang mahirap kasi yung upload speed talaga in terms of uploading videos. But if you have the capacity to upload your video, just give me the link for me to watch, no? And yun, I mean, ang advantage, yun nga, yung advantage na yun, mapapanood ko, then I can rate that one. However, for the rest, or hindi ko naman, I'll wait for your flash drive na lang to be saved there. Just make sure na hindi virus prone yung flash drive na bibigyan nyo sa akin kasi I only have one laptop. And pag nagka-virus yung laptop, ito, kasama yung mga kasama yung mga tawag nito, yung class record yun andito, yung mga sinubmit nyo nandito. If I need to reformat this one, those different files will be erased. So just be mindful of trying to secure your then again, I'd like to also emphasize about the portfolio, yung mga soft copies, yung mga photos na mga kanyo, please don't lose them. Place them maybe in one folder of your USB as part of your portfolio project later on. So yun. So I think your assignment for is actually due until Friday ito. Pero since this is a vlog and next week kasi exam nyo na, would it be okay if you I'll accept that one until maybe Wednesday next week or any time after the exam siguro. Yes, Miss Lobeda,
Okay lang, sir.
let's try to kasi I get to ask pa kung kailan yung schedule talaga ng STS for the exam by next week. So I'll just maybe siguro for example nag-exam tayo ng Wednesday, so yeah, the most Friday, I'll accept until Friday for those who can upload that one. For those who cannot upload that one, just show me maybe a snippet siguro doon, or maybe 5 second, 10 second, or less than a minute na parang teaser. Nakita ko na ay may nagawa kayo. The long version maybe na lang, mamaya na lang yun, no? Just to give you an idea. So then again, ang habol natin dito, ano bang emphasis ng assignment for? You know what, for us Cordillerans kasi, for most of us who are Cordillerans here, marami tayong mga discoveries and inventions na nagawa ng mga ninuno natin. Even medicines na hindi natin alam na nag-exist ng mga ganito. Ay, pwede pala itong ganitong, this leaf is for headache, this bark is for this one. Ito pala pwede mong gawing tea ito, inumin at nakaka-cure ng ganito and that one. So, ito yung actually yung habol nyo kasi indigenous science and technology. However, for indigenous kasi, these are not yet proven by science. But most of our ninunos are actually telling us that these are effective. So, then again ako, personally, my upbringing is not in the Cordillera. So, I may be really very interested to know the Cordilleran ways, discoveries, and inventions, no, with this assignment that you have. So, ito yung habol ko dito because I want to learn from you also. I'm trying to go back to the roots of who I am. I'm actually yun din Cordilleran, but I did not grow up here. So gusto kong mahabol yung mga ganun. So I know your lolos and lolas and even your uncles and aunties and even most of your relatives know some few inventions and discoveries. So I'm really very excited about this assignment. Alright, so I think hanggang sabi ko assignment 4, lesson 4 lang ito, but tingnan lang natin ng konti yung mga iba kasi yun nga hanggang lesson 9 yung coverage ng exam nyo. So yun nga medyo na parang ang dami yung ang dami yung parang next pagkatapos ng isa meron agad next. So chapter 4 nyo is entitled Human Flourishing in Science and Technology. So these are more on mga different technologies that will help assist human. Ito, basahin na lang daw. Ito, technology as a mode of revealing. Technology as poesis. This is really, sa electropoesis? Electropoesis, no? So just get to read this one, and I'll schedule another kung na lang no, for us to discuss this one. Pero this is really also another interesting. Ako sabi din dito, human flourishing as reflected in progress and development. This is maybe more on related to sa countrywide na, no, not on the human side. Kasi personal as human, tapos so maybe on the community, ano yung pwede niyang so development rich countries. This article, basahin niyo ito. Then ganun din yung mga ma-answer dito. So yeah. The Good Life. This is actually a movie that you are going to watch. Kaya sabi din, examine shared concerns that make up good life in order to make innovative, creative solutions to contemporary issues guided by ethical standards. To be honest with you, during the start of the science, kasi wala tayong kinatabi nating mga ethical standards. To be honest with you, dati, pinapatay yung tao para malaman mo lang kung paano gumana yung heart. Pinapatay yung tao, slaves, para makita natin ano yung laman ng body natin. To know the anatomy and physiology of the human body. So, ngayon, we are actually, hindi na tayo basta-bastang pumatay ng kahit rats. Because we need to apply that for ethical standards for that one na gagamitin mo yung rats just for science experiments. Kailangan mo na ng permiso nito. Hindi na basta-basta. Yan. Rats. Pero yung rats naman kasi, hindi masyadong very merciful sa taong patayin yun. Frogs, hindi masyado. Kaya nga, bakit hindi nila ginagamit? Bakit hindi aso, sir? Di ba nakakaawang patayin yung aso? Bakit hindi pusa, sir? Siyempre nakakaawang patayin yung aso. So, yun yung mga ginagamit. But then again, just imagine, dati, freely lang, wala tayong mga law. It was chaos that pwede nating patayin kahit sino lang or even mga slaves just for us to know about medicine. Mga doktor ngayon, they actually are enjoying their knowledges because they get to kill people. Many people were killed before just to know na the brain, this one is the brain, this one is the heart, this one is the lungs, and
You mean, sir, as in human experiments?
Yes. Meron tayong mga nangyayaring ganun dati. There was this also what you call your human genome project naman na get to know all the genes in the human body, those different sequence yon. Pero then again, ang dami kasi mga ethical kwan. So, ang sabi ba, ang point dyan is that we now know what's inside our body. Pero if you get to see, no, kung hindi pinatay yung taong yun, hindi din natin malalaman yan. So, was it a benefit or was it more on mercy na, ay sana, kahit hindi ko na alam, basta hindi pinatay yung tao, paano ba? How would you gauge? How would you balance? No? Where will you stand about it? So, parang ganun yung point ng ito. So, ethical standards, the good life. You get to, I think this is a movie. Movie ba dito? Ha? Hanggang movie dito? Yan. Alright, so, you have those different mga ethics and modern concepts, those different stuff. So, yun nga. There was this one, I think, one assignment that I let you make na hindi ko alam kung anong assignment yun, but it was an idea about if ikaw ba kuha as part of those human trial for COVID vaccine, with your yes or no?
No way.
Tatakbo
pa ako.
Sabi, no way. Pero ganito, dalawa kasi ang pwedeng pagpuntahan yan, no? As successful, you will be the first person vaccinated na hindi na matatamaan and enjoy your life.
Sir, but then again, 50-50 yan. 50-50 yan. Ayoko nga.
That's the other 50. If it is unsuccessful, it may cost your life.
Which is my point. It may cost a life.
It may cost a life. So, ayun nga, yung mga ideas na later on, you'd like to expound that one because you mentioned about you don't agree with that one. So, yung parang ganun. No? So, meron tayong mga ganun. We have also here yung mga when technology and humanity cross. I think you're going to watch here the movie I, Robot by Will Smith, no? Wherein it talks about your artificial intelligence na we human versus the robot, sino daw mas matalino,
superior
computers or your human, those different stuff. And if you're going to watch also videos coming from sa YouTube, no, meron yung mga different stuff na yung mga artificial intelligence na are really very nakakatakot because they are actually made up of a supercomputer that they may affect yung mga digital works na let's say for example those ones that are holding the military side that they can launch the nuclear missiles here and there and everywhere yun
Parang hack.
those are robots no so ano bang difference natin between human the regular intelligence versus this artificial intelligence so
Human has more empathy. Kalakaw
empathy
kasi.
meron mo yeah human have emotions no kasi let's say for example ito din yung isang emphasis ko dito what if someday no marami ng robots and most of the jobs that are related to like let's say for example in your profession oh pulis natin meron tayong mga pulis dito ng mga estudyante sa klase na ito pulis natin robots na so wala ka ng trabaho sayang ka na lang kumuha ng cream sa college mo paano pag let's say for example teachers are being replaced by robots is it possible
Possible.
possible. Pero I think it would be the last job that I think ang pinaka mahirap na replace ng robot. That's the reason why being as an educator or teacher, ito yung isang mahirap na side ng robot na i-replace yung ganitong profession. Then again, in our profession, you being as teacher educators, no, yung emotions natin, empathy natin sa mga estudyante na wala yung ganitong mga robots. So, robots, nakatayo dyan, nagtuturo, nakikinig ka man or hindi, walang magagalit sa'yo. Di ba? So, I mean, teachers, meron kasing emotion tayo eh. Kami, nababastusan kami minsan pag mga ganon. So, like, yun, papagalitan kayo yung mga iPad. Pero, you to learn. So, yung mga ganon. So, yun, ito yung side na ito until assignment 9. So, you have a reaction about that movie that you're going to watch. This is actually around mga 2 hours, but it's really very interesting movie that you can watch. So, hanggang dito yung coverage ng exam niyo. And I think most of the activities are really very just mga self-explanatory. So I'm giving you the floor right now. For the rest of you, you may turn on your microphones and you'd like to ano ba? Like to share more or maybe concerns about your mga activities, especially for those who were not able to pass yet. They have your concerns. I'm open to that one right now.
Caroline, so ka na.
Miss Poncho ba?
Yes, ma'am. Ay, sir.
So, I'm open to that one. It's already 10:58. So, last 2 minutes maybe for those mga pan. Yes, Miss Poncho. Kasi tinutulak ka ni Miss Lobeda.
Sir, example.
Example, yes. What example? Should
Indigenous scientific technology.
Kaya damagak. Ma'am, example ko. Anya ti may bagak may example si indigenous
Nice, nakafocus sa'yo.
technology. Okay, kakikita pati answer ka na yung first batch. Pero may makita natin, no? We get to see even culturally, like for example, for weapons. Gardening. A tools for gardening. Actually, makikita din natin, no? Because those different, like, inventions and discoveries are actually also related to our culture. Let's say, for example, meron tayong makikitang mga, have you ever seen of different knives? No? Na for Cordilleras, may style ng knives na ganito. For the Muslims, iba din yung style ng knives nila. I mean, those different weapons, they may be used as weapon or they may be used for agriculture, but yun yung mga ibang mga examples, no, that like it gives us identity being as a Cordilleran, yung mga different na mga ganun. Let's say for example also, you can add like inyo ba mga ano ba yung mga medicine na Cordilleran base, ano ba yung mini-mix nilang ganito and that one, yun, those are actually even inventions, no? So, you have any idea in your mind, Miss Poncho, of trying to pan? Kasi yun na nga yung point eh. If you have your lolos and lolas there, that would be really very fun, very easy. Baka meron silang alam dati. Some other concerns? Did I answer your question, Miss Poncho? Try to
Yes, sir.
try to find mga tools in gardening, whatever that is na mga pwede. Yes. I'm still open to other questions. It's already 11 o'clock, maybe last 2 minutes. Mr. Burgos,
Sir.
na-schedule kami talaga ti brown out.
Ay, wala ka nagbayad, sir.
Dito ibitag gamin kat 9 to 5 na schedule kami ti brown out. Iso nga napanag.
Ay, konaktor na ako nagbayad.
Oo, schedule kami ti brown out 9 to 5. Iso nga napanak dito school. I'm actually at school at CDC right now. Any other concerns?
Sir,
Yes, Miss Agustin.
I'm not living kasi in my parents' house. I'm living on my uncle and his busy. Tapos awan think niya pagdamadak, sir.
Ada ka yun.
Kasi na lang.
Meron naman, volunteer.
Do you have friends? Neighbors or friends that you make one or around community there that you get to see an old lady or an old man that you can just talk with, something like that. Siguro is it possible? Kasi we may go extremes about that requirement, no, na pwede ko namang i-open ng konti yun. Maybe trying to interview online some other people, pero it actually defeats the purpose of the vlog. Kasi paano mo na naman i-upload mo yung conversation nyo through video, i-record mo. So paano mo gagawin yun? Actually takes out the vlogish vibe about it. Any ideas that you may like to call from others? Paano ba natin to i-diskarte? For those who are living alone, for those who are living with their relatives only.
Yes, sir. Wala pa po kasi akong kilala dito.
Pag kami dito.
Okay.
Ano?
Mr. Burgos ata, baka magkakalapit yung bahay.
Totoo ba lang eh.
Magkakakilala kayo. Baka may mga dati mga extra mga uncle dito, auntie dito, Mr. Burgos na mabalibot pa bulod.
Sa lang extra, sir.
Sir, damagot man.
Yes.
Sir, how many minutes the duration na the video?
Alright, very good question. The minutes the minimum would be around 3 minutes, but do not exceed anymore around 5 minutes. Boring na rin yung video na lumampas ng 5 minutes, hindi ko na papanoorin yan. But
Which sir
yan yung common point ng attention in watching videos. The length of the videos that gets our attention are around mga 3 to 5 minutes lang. So, if you can actually masiksik yun ang lahat ng 3 minutes without taking out the mga substantial part, then it's a really very good way for you to do it na at lesser time, kompleto lahat. So, yun nga. So, 3 to 5 minutes length, yan yung habol natin na length. Don't go beyond 5, maybe seconds, pwede naman, pero kung kaya nyo ma-shoot ng 3 to 5 minutes, why not? Yes, any other one? Any other concerns? Very good question, Mr. Bula. Any other concerns? Wala nang concern tayo. It's already 11:04, maybe one more minute, 11:05 para si Mr. Burgos magluluto ulit. Walang dito sa amin, ha? Nasa school ako.
An interview na.
Walang lang dito. Yes? Other concerns? Wala na? So, I'm still open to your mga queries. You just can PM me anytime. Pero wag lang sana yung mga I don't reply beyond mga 10 o'clock anymore. Expect the reply to be the next day. And whenever you send your assignments through your email, I always reply. So if you don't see me replying on your assignments, meaning I didn't receive that one. So pag nag-send kayo through the messenger or to the email, I always reply na na-receive ko. So if I don't reply, so it maybe isipin nyo na you need to resend kasi hindi nag-reply si sir, meaning hindi niya na-receive. Parang ganun. Alright? So, if you have any more tapos personal na mga concerns, you can PM me to Facebook or to the email. Alright? So, if there are no more questions, maybe let's call it a day for this one. Okay na ba? Mr. Burgos, Miss Agustin, Miss
Sige, sir.
Pedro,
Okay na.
Sir.
Naed, Miss Lobeda,
Okay lang.
Mapangdol, and Miss Lakyas. So, yun. So, I think if there are none, then let's call it a day. So, I'll be ending the video in 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thank you very much for Bag na lang, ada kuryente to.